What is going on, everybody? This is Josh back again with another video on Tech and Ish. Today what I want to talk about is The Blacklist. Now, this show is really good. This is one of those shows that you need to go see. It's on its 7th season, and the first season is what got me hooked. The first episode is what got me hooked. It's Raymond Reddington. He's FBI's most wanted, and he just walks into the FBI headquarters, and he basically just turns himself in. And that got me intrigued. I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he trying to do something like this? And the main reason why is because he has a blacklist. And in this list, there's a lot of bad people on there that the FBI or CIA, nobody knows about them. And they're committing a bunch of crimes. And the only one who knows about them is Raymond Reddington. Now, he ends up going in there, turns himself in, tells them all about it. And every single episode, he basically gives off one name, and it basically takes him down. And it kind of helps him out in a way too, because as they're taking him down, they're helping him out, building up something bigger. And that's basically how it keeps on going. There is a storyline behind it about Liz, who's basically his daughter. As seasons go on, you basically find out that he's his daughter, or she's his daughter. And I mean, it's something really good to watch. It's really good. So go check this one out. So today is going to be season 7. Episode 1 just came out. And if you remember on season 6, Reddington basically got kidnapped from Rostova, which is supposed to be Liz's mom, who is supposedly dead. But, you know, we're still trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know why she took him the way she did. Looks like she just dosed him with something, like poked him with a syringe, and she basically took him, and that's where it ended off. Now, first episode right now, it's basically trying to figure out what's going on with him, where's he at, who has him, because nobody knows where he's at. So far, the only one who knows he's missing is Dembe. Dembe saw that he was supposedly smuggled to Paris, and they're trying to figure out how he even got to Paris. The FBI doesn't even know about this. Dembe ends up telling Liz over the phone, and they end up finding out that Raymond Reddington is gone. Liz tries to get her team into it, which is Agent Cooper and Wrestler. So she ends up talking to them, telling him that Raymond's been gone. And she basically drops a bomb on them, basically telling them that Raymond Reddington is not Raymond Reddington. A long time ago, basically on season 1, Liz ended up shooting Raymond Reddington, and he basically died from that shot. Now, they still needed him to be alive, which was Rostova. Rostova still needed him to be alive, so it was a KGB agent who basically is portraying to be him. He did all this surgery to make him look like him, and he basically took the place of Raymond Reddington, but they didn't know that until like season 6, I think, 5 or 6. And now Agent Cooper and all of them, they basically know what's going on with Reddington. So they're basically now trying to figure out who took it. Now, when I saw Raymond in the hospital, he has like this blue thing all around him, like a blue box basically, because they're basically telling him that he's paralyzed from the neck down or the waist down, that he'll never walk again. And basically the story that they're telling him is that they found him in the streets and that he was beaten up really bad. And I thought, you know, what's going on with this? You know, first he was with Rostova, and now he was beaten up. So I didn't know what was going on. And throughout this episode, they kind of start playing tricks on you a little bit. You actually got to pay attention to it. Now, since Raymond is in the hospital, it turns out that the one who put him in the hospital is the illusionist, which is a person on the blacklist. He basically makes it seem like you're in one spot when in reality, you're not even there. So this whole hospital scene, he's really not even there. He made this whole thing in a warehouse. He hired a lot of people to play as doctors and securities and nurses. And every single one of them is just playing a role. And Raymond doesn't catch on right away. He's actually believing certain things. But then little by little, he ends up realizing that this whole thing is fake. Supposedly, the illusionist is a cop. In this episode, he gives him kind of like a cell phone number to a lawyer, but in reality, it's a 1-800 to Agent Cooper's phone line. So, you know, the reason why that's for is because when they call that line, automatically Harold Cooper is going to play this, oh, this is FBI and we've been looking for him and we have one of his contacts and that's why we have his phone. So they're kind of playing it off to be dumb, like, oh, he's not helping us, basically. And I think the whole reason why Katerina is doing this is because she wants him to admit that he's working with the FBI, that he's giving them every single person on this blacklist. And I'm assuming maybe she wants to know if she's giving them hers. It hasn't gotten that far yet, but you end up realizing that Katerina is the reason why all of this is happening. And I think the reason why is because she wants to know what he's up to. So the illusionist actually played this very well. He even got somebody in the French embassy to step out around the time that Harold Cooper was walking over there, try to extradite him. So the guy steps out, basically tells him, let's walk over here to have a little bit more privacy. And Agent Cooper is thinking that the French have him, but in reality they don't. So here you see the illusionist basically walking to the elevator, and I thought he was going somewhere, but in reality he turns away and his French accent goes away. It basically sounds American, and like the elevator wall comes down and you finally see that he's actually in a warehouse, and this whole thing is just an illusion. So everybody is starting to figure out what's happening. Agent Cooper realizes that that person who was at the French embassy was not even somebody who actually works there or has any authority there. Raymond Reddington realizes that he's not even in a hospital, that he looks like outside the window, and I'm assuming maybe he's seeing that the drapes are not blowing, but you hear like the French music, and I guess maybe they have like the smell of bread. I don't know. I think that's what they end up having, but he realizes that he's not even in Paris at a French hospital, and he kind of like steers away from the camera, tries to see what he can actually do to get out of this. Now what he does here is actually pretty smart. He has the radio playing. He kind of like turns the radio, you know, just to the side where a reflection will give off some light to the camera and nobody can know what's going on. Automatically when that happens, they send a nurse in. That nurse is there to try to give him a shot, which is basically an epidural shot where he can't feel anything from the waist down. And Raymond knows that that's what's going on, so he grabs her, tells her, you better tell me what's going on. And she explains certain things because she doesn't know everything. She ends up grabbing a gun, or she tries to grab a gun, but Raymond was able to grab it before she did. Now Raymond is basically going to start threatening her, saying if you basically want to live, then you better play the role of being a nurse. And she still plays it until the illusionist ends up coming in all over again. The FBI ends up realizing that guy at the French embassy, they find out his real identity, they go to his house, and from there they end up realizing that the one who's doing all of this is the illusionist, and they're trying to get more information on how they can actually find this person. Raymond ends up handcuffing the illusionist, and he's basically just sitting there on the chair, and Raymond is able to like break a window and kind of escape a little bit. So he ends up trying to run through the warehouse, trying to see if he can find his way out. So the FBI finally know where he's at, so they're trying to get to them before they can escape. You see Raymond actually escape out of that warehouse. He's trying to run up and down the street, but either way he goes, Katerina Rostova is there. Now I actually thought, what is this season gonna be about? If he ends up leaving, then it's just gonna be another season where he's giving off blacklist names. So I was wondering, are they gonna catch him, or they're actually gonna end up being free? And then it turns out that they actually caught him, and you know, that kind of made me think that, okay, then this season is gonna go on where the FBI is still trying to find Raymond Reddington. So it's not going to be about the blacklist as much. I think it's mainly going to be about Katerina Rostova and what Raymond Reddington is doing with the FBI and how she can try to get some information on him. I'm actually happy that this show is back on. I'm actually happy that this episode was really good, and it still gets me intrigued, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I actually like this show a lot. If you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix, so you could binge watch this whole thing, but it is going to take you a while because like one season has like 20 episodes in it. So it might take you some time, but it is a good show to watch. So keep in tune to my channel. I'll talk about episode 2 the next time. And comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if there's something you want me to watch. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.